This is a serious warning for those who are over 60 and have started to feel weaker legs, balance failing, or the silent fear of falling appearing in daily life. What few people know is that this loss of strength does not happen only because of age, but because of common habits that seem harmless and gradually steal mobility. Recent scientific studies show that there is a simple, safe, daily exercise capable of reactivating important leg muscles, improving stability, and restoring confidence in walking. And the most surprising thing is that it can be done in a few minutes, without equipment and at home. Here is the controversial part. Many popular exercises recommended after 60 are accelerating leg weakening instead of helping. The good news is that there is a practical alternative, validated by experts in healthy aging, that can change this scenario quickly. Now tell us, where are you watching this video today? Write in the comments, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and keep following this content. Let's start by talking about the exercise you can do at home. After 60, the body does not lose strength suddenly. It gradually shuts down important muscles, especially in the legs. The number one daily exercise to reverse this does not involve impact, does not require a gym, and does not strain the joints. It is a simple functional movement, based on the act of sitting and standing correctly, something the body was made to do. When this movement is performed correctly, the deep leg muscles start working again. And that changes everything in daily mobility. The secret lies in slow, conscious execution, respecting the body's rhythm. By sitting and standing from a sturdy chair, with feet firmly planted on the floor, the thigh, glute, and calf muscles are activated safely. A common recommendation among physiotherapists is to start with just 5 consecutive repetitions, rest a little, and repeat this cycle once more. This takes less than 2 minutes and is already enough to stimulate the muscles without causing excessive fatigue. There is a simple detail that almost no one mentions, but that makes all the difference in the results of this exercise: breathing. Many people hold their breath when standing up without noticing, and this increases tension in the body and fatigue. Experts in conscious movement explain that releasing the breath slowly when standing helps the brain relax and allows the legs to work more efficiently. It seems small, but it completely changes the experience. Another important point is the rhythm. Doing the movement too fast turns the exercise into momentum, not strengthening. The ideal is to count mentally to 3 when standing and to 3 when sitting. This control activates more muscle fibers and protects the joints. Have you noticed how slow movements give more security than rushed movements? Here, less speed means more result. For those who feel stiffness early in the morning, a simple tip is to warm the body beforehand, just by moving the ankles and gently bending the knees while still seated. Some professionals even recommend using a firm cushion on the seat during the first days, just to reduce the initial tension. Over time, it becomes unnecessary and the body adapts naturally. An important detail makes all the difference: the height of the chair. A very low chair hinders the movement and can create insecurity. Therefore, many professionals recommend using chairs with a firm seat and appropriate height, those that keep the knees aligned with the hips. In fact, there are simple and affordable models that help a lot in this process and end up being used daily, not only in the exercise but in the household routine. For those who want to intensify gradually, a light elastic band can be used around the thighs to increase muscle activation without overloading the joints. This type of accessory is often recommended by mobility specialists. The ideal is to keep the tension light and focus on the quality of the movement, not the quantity. I will leave some links in the first comment with product recommendations on Amazon. Now think for a moment. How many times a day do you sit and stand without paying attention to the movement? And if this common gesture could become the most powerful exercise in your routine? In the next section, an important warning appears about why even active people continue losing leg strength without noticing. How this exercise improves balance, circulation, and confidence while walking. When the sit-to-stand exercise becomes part of the daily routine, the body starts to respond in ways that go far beyond muscular strength. One of the first gains noticed is balance. Gradually, the brain begins to trust these areas again, something essential for walking more safely inside and outside the house. By contracting and relaxing the leg muscles in a controlled manner, blood circulates better, reducing that feeling of heaviness or swelling throughout the day. Not surprisingly, many people report lighter legs and less fatigue after a few days of consistent practice. Confidence while walking also changes in a silent yet profound way. When a person notices they can stand up more easily, climb a step without hesitation, or cross a room without leaning on furniture, something internal changes. To reinforce this confidence, some professionals suggest non-slip mats or discrete support bars at strategic points in the house. These items are not for dependence, but to create an environment that encourages movement without fear. Now a direct question. Do you walk more slowly by choice or by fear? Comment in the comments. I will also leave an indication of non-slip mats that you can use in your home to avoid falls. How to create a daily habit in less than 2 minutes without pain or risk. Creating a habit after 60 has nothing to do with willpower, but with simplicity. The biggest mistake is thinking you need motivation or extra energy to start. This exercise works precisely because it fits into something that is already part of the daily routine. Just choose a fixed moment, like before breakfast or right after getting out of bed, and always use the same chair. When the brain associates the exercise with a predictable time, resistance disappears. Another essential point is to eliminate any risk that could serve as an excuse not to do it. A well-lit space, firm floor, and a stable chair already solve most of the problem. Some people like to place a non-slip mat under the chair or wear comfortable footwear just for that moment of the day. These small details send a clear message to the body. Here it is safe to move. Time also works in your favor. 2 sets of 5 repetitions, done calmly, take less than 2 minutes. That is less time than preparing coffee or waiting for the TV to turn on. When the exercise ends quickly, the brain does not create resistance. And the most curious thing is that, as days go by, many people naturally start doing more repetitions without anyone telling them. The body asks for continuity when it feels the benefit. Now think sincerely. If something so simple can help maintain your independence, why not test it for a few days? What would be the best time in your routine to fit this habit without effort? Why the legs weaken after 60 even in active people? Many people believe that walking every day is enough to keep the legs strong after 60. The truth is that, although walking is important for the heart and the mind, it hardly activates the muscles responsible for lifting the body, climbing stairs, or regaining balance. Over time, these muscles become asleep, even in people who consider themselves active. And that is where that feeling of heaviness in the legs appears, especially at the end of the day. Another rarely discussed factor is the natural loss of muscle mass linked to aging. Studies show that, starting at 60, the body can lose strength even without pain or prior warning. This happens because the brain begins to send fewer signals to certain muscles, especially those in the legs. Have you noticed how getting up from the couch requires more effort than before, even without having done anything different? This is a classic sign of this silent process. There is also a modern habit that accelerates this weakening: spending long periods sitting. Even those who exercise in the morning can remain seated for hours afterward, watching television or using the phone. Some mobility specialists recommend small footrests or non-slip mats near the armchair, as they encourage position changes and provide more safety when standing up, reducing the fear of slipping. Now, an important reflection is worth considering. Could the problem be the lack of exercise or the type of movement that is being done every day? And what if the body were asking for something simple, yet specific, that almost no one teaches? In the next section, A silent mistake emerges that many people make thinking they are taking care of themselves, when in fact they are accelerating the loss of strength. The silent mistake that accelerates the loss of strength in the legs. The silent mistake that most accelerates the loss of strength in the legs after the age of 60 is not failing to exercise, as many imagine. In fact, it is trying to compensate for weakness by avoiding effort. Whenever someone relies too much on their arms to stand up, uses furniture as a lever, or prefers to remain seated out of fear of falling, the body receives a dangerous message. These muscles no longer need to work, and when they do not work, they weaken even more. This behavior usually comes with good intentions. The person thinks they are protecting themselves, when in practice, they are training the body to depend increasingly less on the legs. Functional rehabilitation specialists explain that excessive external support reduces neuromuscular stimulus, something essential for maintaining strength and balance. Have you noticed how, gradually, getting up from the chair begins to require assistance, even without apparent pain? Another critical point is the constant use of inappropriate footwear indoors. Loose slippers or slippery socks reduce stability and increase insecurity when standing up. Therefore, many professionals recommend the use of lightweight shoes with non-slip soles and good grip, even in indoor environments. It is a simple detail, but one that restores confidence in movement and reduces fear, which by itself already weakens the body. The good news is that this mistake can be corrected quickly with small conscious changes, gradually reducing arm support, choosing a safe and firm environment for the exercise, and using accessories that provide stability make a huge difference. And here the question arises: how many times a day do you avoid using your legs without noticing? Everything shown so far points to a simple, yet powerful truth. The body responds to what is asked of it every day. Small movements, done with attention and consistency, build something much greater than muscular strength. They build confidence, autonomy, and peace of mind to live the routine without fear. And this does not depend on age, it depends on decision. When someone starts taking care of their own legs, they are taking care of the freedom to come and go, to get up on their own, to walk firmly, and to continue making choices. Imagine waking up knowing that the body responds better, that the legs are more reliable, and that simple tasks no longer seem like obstacles. How many everyday situations could become lighter because of that? Now a direct and sincere question. What is preventing you from starting today, right this moment? Lack of time or just the habit of postponing something that can make a real difference? And even more importantly, how could your life change if, in a few weeks, getting up from the chair ceases to be a challenge? If this content made sense to you, keep following. Subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and stay close, because there is still a lot of simple and valuable knowledge to share about strength, balance, and aging with quality.